We are looking at lesson 6, subtracting rational numbers. Our learning target and success criteria is the same as last week. Let's take a look at it. We are learning how to simplify integers expressions and apply integer rules. And our success criteria is I can add or subtract integers, I can identify and apply integer rules, I can evaluate integer operations using real applications. The learning target that they created for this lesson says I can find a difference between two rational numbers and I can understand how to subtract positive and negative numbers in general. Their learning goal was let's bring addition and subtraction together. So this is you guys warm up for those who haven't completed lesson 6. It's different for different uh, blocks depending on which block you're in. So it's asking you to solve each of these equations mentally, rewrite these addition equations, subtraction equations. So you're going to do two things. The first thing is I will go ahead and just solve these. And then the second thing is they want you to rewrite these as subtraction equations. Okay. So you're going to reshuffle some numbers around. So for example, you have 247 plus C is equal to 458. You need to rewrite this as a subtraction equation by moving these three values around. Our word bank is still looking at deposits. Remember that deposits mean that we're adding money and withdrawal means that we're subtracting money. Okay, here's the very first activity in lesson 6. We have another chart. I'm going to go ahead and blow this up. It says a mountaineer is changing elevations. Write an expression that represents the difference between the final elevation and beginning elevation. Then write the value of the change. The first one is already done for you. So we started at 400. Our final elevation, we ended at 900. And so we did 900 minus 400, and our change is a positive 500. And you guys are going to do the same for the rest of this chart. So we're going to start with our final elevation because it's asking you to look between the final elevation and beginning elevation. So we're going to start at our final elevation here is 50. We're going to subtract that from our beginning, which is 400. And then you're going to write your solution, what you get at the end, where it says change. And if it's positive, you put a plus in front of it. If your value is negative, you put a negative minus in front. And then you keep doing that for the next 5 lines. So here we have 400 plus 400 minus 120. We're going to start with a negative 120. And then we end it with 400. So you're going to do 120 minus 400. And then you're going to write your solution here. Now here it's asking you guys just to fill in the chart. So it says evaluate each expression in column A and B. Answer the following question: does the order matter? So we have 3 plus 2, 5 plus a negative 9, negative 11 plus 2, and it keeps going. You're going to simplify each of these for A, and then simplify each of these for B. Over here they flip the numbers around. So 2 plus 3, negative 9 plus 5. And then you're going to simplify B. Once you find the solutions for A and B, then you're going to answer your question: does the order actually matter in the way that the problem is wrote? Yes or no. And then once you say yes or no, basically explain why. Next one, we're doing the same thing. They ask you to find the values. They flip the numbers around. So column A, we got 3 minus 2, 5 minus a negative 9. We got 2 minus 3, negative 9 minus 5. Again, simplify each of these. And then it says, what do you notice about the expressions in column A compared to column B? Then it also say, what do you notice about their values? So did the values change or did you notice a difference in A and B? Now these right here, it says look at each of these expressions and diagrams and fill in the number lines for number three and 4. What do you notice? So I will first simplify these answers. So we have negative 11 plus 2, simplify. If you see it, if we started at 0, we went all the way down to negative 11. And from negative 11, which is the second line, we went down 2. Okay, so my final answer is negative 9. Example 2, we have 2 plus a negative 11. So we started at 0, went all the way up to 2 here. And then from 2, we went all the way down to 11, which gave me a negative 9. And then they want you guys to go ahead and filling these in. So negative 11 minus 2, you're missing a line. So you're starting at 0 and going down to negative 11 because that's the line you're missing. And then right here we got 2 minus a negative 11. So they started at 0, went down to negative 11. And now you're trying to get from here to 2. So again, fill in the number lines here and simplify each of these. So after you answer simplify those, they're asking you questions regarding the number lines and the expressions. So it says, does changing the order of the number in the addition expression change the value? Why not? And does changing the order of a number in the subtraction expression change the value? Why not? And again, I will use these four examples to answer your questions. So 1 and 2 are addition equations. 3 and 4 are subtraction equations. And then here you just answering the question, what's the difference between 12 and 10? What's the difference between 10 and 12? You're going to subtract, guys. And 3 and 4, when they ask you about distance, you're actually going to use the absolute value. So you're going to do 12 minus 10. You're still subtracting, but you're going to put the absolute value around it, which makes your value positive either way. And then you do the same thing for question 4. It's asking what's the distance between 10 and 12. Um, the cooldown, they just want you to simplify here. Again, this only applies if you're completing the PowerPoint over the packet. But you're going to simplify this expression, -5 minus a -12, and then just circle each of the ones or highlight which ones are correct. The same as that first statement. Yeah, asynchronous work, you guys are just completing the problems. So here it says, write a sentence to answer each of these questions. How much warmer is 82 than 40? How much warmer is 82 than -40? I would just write my answer in a sentence form. Problem 2, it said, what is the difference in heights between 30 meters up a cliff and 80 meters up a cliff? So remember, difference means you subtracting. And then what is the distance between these positions? You're going to take the absolute value of 30 minus 87. Then question 2, it says, what is the difference in height between the albatross flying at 100 meters? Remember to say above, so we're going positive. And then it's just the shark is swimming 30 meters below, so we're going, it should be negative. They're asking for the distance between the shark and the albatross. Remember, you're going to take the absolute value and subtract these two. This one's pretty straightforward. Again, if you're writing on the PowerPoint and turning the PowerPoint, you're going to use the draw tab to write your answers. But here you just simplify each expression. So we got -5 minus 6, 35 minus a -8, 2/5 minus 3 over 5, or 3/5, and then -4 and 3/8 minus a -1 and 1/4. Again, guys, for these fractions, you can go to Desmos Calculator, which is also posted on Verge. And that should be it for lesson 6. If you guys have any additional questions, please feel free to ask me or send me a message in Verge.